Okay, I'm live, it looks like. How are you today? I want to talk about Bernie Sanders yesterday, today, and from here on, or tomorrow. Um, with regard to Bernie Sanders and the 2020 campaign, what should he do? Well, I think he should serve about the rest of his term. I mean, not that I'm saying that he needs to listen to me. Who am I? I'm just somebody from North Carolina running my mouth. But I think that Bernie Sanders needs to serve the rest of his term. And if he wants to retire in 2024, he can. If he wants to run for reelection, so be it. And if he runs for reelection, I would certainly donate to his campaign because we're still going to need Bernie. Regardless, we're still going to need Bernie in our society. Regardless of how this presidential election turns out, and moving forward because social democracy, democratic socialism, what exists in most Western democratic nations around the world that we don't have. You know, the saying, "Why can't we have nice things?" Well, the United States is that kind of country. Why can't we have nice things like universal health care, free college, and strong trade unions, and a generous retirement system, and very long extended vacation times, and time off for mothers get new new born children, time off with pay, parental leave, basically. Why can't we have these things? Paid parental leave, um, and those things we need, and we need to fight for these things. Um, what can Bernie Sanders do? Um, I've noticed that former Congressman Ron Paul has a program, and he discusses his quirky style libertarianism. Not knocking Ron Paul down for all you Ron Paul fans out there. I may disagree with his economics, but I have a likable opinion of Ron Paul. Don't agree with him on a whole lot, but on some very crucial issues, I can overlap. I respect Ron Paul, so just let some people know. But I think that Bernie Sanders, since he is more or less the Ron Paul of the left, I think he should have some kind of a programming podcast or something where he can take his case to the American people of what we need to do and what we should expect out of our politicians. Um, and that's what I think needs to be done. Um, it's just things are just crossing my mind at the moment. And sure, I mean, I've been following Bernie Sanders for virtually 30 years now. So I for me, I call me a sentimentalist old fool, but I'm nostalgic for that cranky old guy that well, he was about my age back then. But back then when I was in my 20s, I was just like this cranky old guy just giving the establishment a whole lot of shit. And as a member of Congress, it was wonderful in the 1990s watching him on C-SPAN, putting certain right-wing congressmen in their place, and also putting corporate Democrats in their place. This whole corporate Democrat thing didn't just start out of the blue with Hillary Clinton 2016. This shit goes back to the 1980s, and we want to make sure that the whole idea of the reactionary Democratic Leadership Council and all this shit that they propose, Reaganizing the Democratic Party and Reaganizing the liberal left for all intents and purposes, needs to be shoved away to the dust heap of history. Some people want to keep that shit around. And Bernie Sanders came along, and he came along reluctantly. For what I've been told, in 2016, he wanted, way back in 2015, he wanted Elizabeth Warren to challenge Hillary Clinton, and she wouldn't do it. So, but he didn't want to run for president in 2016, for what I understand, and he really want to run for president in 2020. But he understood that we need to fight for these ideas, and he's like the only person that was doing it, for advocating these things, and people started to listen. So, just like Kyle Kalinske said recently, um, Bernie Sanders might have sparked, maybe, or influenced, or inspired, maybe a couple of thousand Bernie Sanders. I'm paraphrasing what he said. Um, I hope so. I hope we see more Bernie Sanders come along. Bernie Sanders, as in what he believes. And I'm not saying this like he's a cult of personality. It ain't easy being a one man social democratic party, and that's what it comes down to. So, I don't know. Bernie Sanders could get a program of his own on the Young Turks. I'm just grasping straws here, just trying to see what would be part of his future, and the future of the American left as we go forth, and not just fight Donald Trump, but fight the other conservatives, the conservatives within the Democratic Party. And we got to do this. We got to remove the right wing element to the Democratic Party. And if we don't, we got to go and form our own Labor Party. Um, y'all know what the Socialist International is? I know I'm holding an SPUSA button from the 1980s, but the Socialists, but that's what's their symbol in the 80s, and that's the symbol of the Socialist International. The Socialist International is a worldwide federation of social democratic socialists, and labor parties, and we need such a movement here. Um, we need that movement, and we need to go forth and create that movement. I can't stress that enough. I don't come on here to YouTube just to spout off what I spout off so y'all can take a look at my beautiful face. I come in here because I if I could just, with my mediocre looks and my mediocre delivery, can convince one more person to pursue this, then it would be worth it. I'm Bernie Bro. Hit that subscribe button there at the bottom. Feel free to comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Peace.